Hey, what's up? This is how I make bread. This is all the stuff you need, minus like cat treats and like oranges in the background. Dutch oven, bowls, plate, towel, measuring cup, also some like measuring spoons. Dry yeast. This is the stuff I get. I'm sure other stuff works. Salt. You don't need that much flour, but you just need some. And then a little spoodle. First off, you're gonna need like warm water. 1¼ cup of warm water. You can't be scalding. I just kind of make it pretty warm to the touch in the bowl, and then you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of the active dry, and then 2½ teaspoons of salt. You're gonna put that in here and mix it around with a fork until it's a little bubbly. It's gonna look something like that. Then you're gonna get 3 cups of all-purpose flour. There's other flours you could probably use, but all-purpose is probably just fine for your needs. So you're gonna mix that in here until it starts to get kind of doughy. Gonna mix it up with this spoodle until it starts to become one amalgamous blob. Okay, this is basically all the handwork you're doing. I always have a little cup on the side. I'm just gonna wet my hand, move it around a little bit, and once I have some play with it, I'm gonna take part of it, start wiggling it out, and then fold it over itself. I'm gonna do that 3 times or so. If it starts to get stuck to your hand, just wet it more. Just kind of stretch it out and then fold it over itself. Now from here, you're gonna put a cloth on it, or rather a cloth over it. Like so. You're gonna put a towel over it, or sorry, a towel and then a plate. You're gonna leave that there for like a half hour, and then so you're gonna set a timer for 2 hours and a timer for half hour. And every half hour, you're gonna do that exact same thing. So just take the plate off, wet your hand, fold it over itself like 3 times. Do it like kind of turn the bowl as you do it, so you're kind of getting all sides. You're going to do that every half hour until 2 hours has elapsed. Alright, so at this point in the video, I decided to just stop doing the live voice recording and just record it after the fact. Really high budget for this bread making video. So yeah, essentially, I'm just redoing what I did. So again, it's 2 hours total of this stretch and folding method at 30-minute intervals. So every 30 minutes within that 2 hours, you're just gonna grab it, stretch it. You know, I kind of do this little wiggle method, as you can see, but that's how I get it. And again, I'm turning the bowl, so like as I'm folding it from different sides at different angles, but the goal is to create, you know, some like structure in there, get some bubbles going, you know. So that's kind of the idea behind this. You don't have to put too much time into it. You know, partially why I like this is the only bread I ever make, because it's pretty easy and it's relatively quick. A lot of bread takes a while. All right, so here you're going to be preheating the oven with the bottom of the Dutch oven already in there. So you're going to have that set to go. You're going to preheat it to 420. I thought this was funny, so I'm just going to point at it, haha. Anyway, so it's going to be preheated to 420 with the bottom half, not the lid, of the Dutch oven inside of the oven as it's preheating. This makes it so that it's already going to be hot for when you go to put the dough in the oven. Make sure you're being very conscious of like oven mitts, because I've almost accidentally burned myself a few times now. I believe this is the last shot of me doing the stretch and fold. As you can see, the bread has kind of started to get a little more full. I think I found some like specks in there. The bread is starting to like, you know, it's a lot more pliable, easier to work with. So yeah, look how it stretches out now, and that's only after doing this, like 3 times or something. So it works pretty quickly. You're getting the bread going. I originally got this recipe from some YouTuber. I don't remember the name. I could maybe reference it at the end of the video, and that might be fun to watch also. But yeah, it's like I think it's an Italian. It's technically an Italian bread. I could not pronounce the name of it, but this is technically an Italian bread, but I just called it artisanal bread. Anyway, so once the preheat is done, you're gonna slap some oven mitts on your grippers, and then you're gonna grab your Dutch oven. Now, some of these shots are a little difficult to see because I have an amazing camera angle, but I'm grabbing the dough now. Or rather, I'm grabbing parchment paper because so I gotta have something at the base of this so the bread doesn't stick. I guess you could just put flour down. I kind of doubled down this. I put parchment paper down in the Dutch oven, and then I also put flour down on the parchment paper. It's probably overkill. Again, you could probably just do flour if you want, but I like to sprinkle a little bit on the bottom just for a little extra little powder in there so it's easy to get off of the paper. Anyway, so parchment down. Again, it's a hot Dutch oven, so be careful. Parchment down, flour down, and then I put that dough right in there. Make sure it's all nestled really well. And I think I'm going to shift. Yeah, get a first-person view. Look at that dough ready to go. A little flour on the top. Honestly, and this is me judging post. I think I put a little too much on in here, but it's not a big deal. Like it's just a finish. You do have to cut it. You could use a knife, but I use scissors. It's easier. But yeah, it's cut. It's ready to go. So you're gonna slap the lid on. Again, the lid is still cold right now. But the actual base of it is hot, so be careful. You grab the thing, toss it in the oven. So again, it's gonna be at 420 degrees. It's gonna go in for like 35 minutes or so. You could check on it, but at 420 it should be good within like 35 minutes. Afterwards though, you gotta take it out. So you gotta take it out. You're gonna see it's like partially done right now. It's getting there. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take off the lid here. Close that for a second because everything's hot. Look, it is bread. It's coming together, but it doesn't quite have that nice finish on it. So what you're actually gonna do is you're gonna drop the temp to 400. You're gonna put it in again without the lid on it. And this is just kind of creating like a nice crust at the end of it all. So timer goes up. This is like 15-20 minutes. It depends on how dark you want the crust. And look at that. It's a nice loaf. I'm gonna go in for like a really good cut. Pay attention to the steam coming off this puppy. And it is hot to the touch. I'm kind of dancing my fingers around there because I don't have chef hands anymore like I used to work in a restaurant. But look at that steam starting to come off there. And I think I give it like a break open. Here we go. Look at that. Anyway, that's the bread. It turns out pretty good. Cut it up, toast some mixed grilled cheese on it. It's delish. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's how I make bread.